Hello, everyone. Welcome back once again. I am Nicodemus Kane. Today is February the 14th of 2023. Some of you, maybe some of your friends, will definitely be calling this Valentine's Day. I will call it what it is. It is a celebration of Lupercalia. It is a pagan festival. It's a pagan fertility festival. But nobody likes to hear that. Um, I was looking into this train thing. The train derailments that are happening. I'm sure that a lot of people have been looking or been hearing about the one in Ohio. Um, because a lot of people have been talking about it. My throat, my throat is still raw. I'm thinking it's because the kids are here. My grandkids are here, and I'm talking a lot more than usual. I mean, I'm talking a lot. Sometimes the only talking I will get will be, this, doing the recordings, and maybe a little bit at night whenever, my wife and I are sitting watching TV or something. But with my granddaughter here, I'm constantly talking. So I'm thinking that's part of it. I'm thinking that it's still me trying to get this crap out of my lungs from being sick last week. I don't know. Uh, but my throat is really raw. And the last time I remember my throat being this raw was doing a lot of YouTube videos. So I'm thinking that's it. So you'll have to forgive me if I'm constantly clearing my throat. But hold on one second. Okay. And so this whole train thing has got me. It's interesting. Somebody had said that there were 6 train derailments within a week. Now I can't find that. It's strange though. I found 3. So there's the one in this is it East Palestine, Ohio, which is curious. I love the naming there, which apparently is dumping toxic chemicals into the water systems now. There was one in Graniteville, South Carolina, which I cannot find too much information on because just about every news article that there is behind a paywall. Or no, that's not the one. Where was the one? There's another one that happened. Innery? Is that what it was? I'm getting these mixed up. Because there was another one. This one's talking about one in 2005. What the hell is this? No. Innery, area of Spartanburg County. That's what it was. I was looking at something else. I got it mixed up. So there's that one. That one says it happened 13 hours ago, which is crazy. And then there's one in Houston, which was caused by an accident. I guess a car or a truck got hit by a train, and the train derailed because of it. Now, these other 2, they don't have like a chemical spill involved in them. But it is interesting, though, that these are all happening all at once, So I was kind of curious, why is this all happening? What's going on here? Well, one of the things that happens when you look up these train derailments, one of the suggested questions, I guess, is this talking about this Canadian Pacific Railway. And I was like, why would that be associated? Let me even go back on my browser here so I can see it. When you look up train derailment, and now that they have, Google has these questions now that say, what happened with this train derailment? Why was this a thing? And they give you, suggestions on what to look at next. And one of the things was this CP rail thing. And apparently they've got some big merger coming through where they have this straight line rail track, the one rail line that everybody was talking about back in the early 2000s, about it being a border crossing rail track from Canada all the way down to Mexico. I guess it took 20 years, but I guess it's finally done. And they are investing, what would it say, 1.42 billion. I lost it now. It's not on my page anymore. But they're investing like 1.42 billion dollars in this, and apparently this rail company just set some kind of record with the amount of grain that it could haul. It also hauls it's also talking about hauling a lot of different kind of chemicals and things. I don't know what to say about it. Like I said, I lost it. It's not here anymore. I could probably just look it back up. It's right here. I added another thing. I have too many browser windows open. So, you have to forgive me because I keep losing them. But it says that there's like some kind of a trade deal between Canada and Texas for oil and tar on its way going down to Mexico, back and forth between Mexico and Canada. There's stops in between that it stops and makes. So we know that this rail system, this rail line, is going to be hauling food. It's going to be hauling chemicals. It's going to be hauling oil. It's going to be hauling all kinds of stuff. I find it interesting, though, that they're talking about this big merger, this big deal that's going through 2 weeks before you start getting train derailments. One of the things they were saying was that their stock prices were predicted to go through the roof once this deal got done. And now suddenly train derailments. Now that will probably make the stock price drop. But they've already got all the infrastructure and everything ready to go. So once this thing starts going, their price is going to go back up. It's going to go through the roof. So you've got this large dip in all train stocks right now because of the wrecks. So what if this is to get people to buy low, not us, not the common folk, but to get, the investors, the ones that don't need the money? What if there's something to that? You create this incident, then you buy low, and then the prices soar within a couple years. Maybe I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it could just all have been just an accident. You never know. It could have just all been, just a happy little coincidence. Everybody says these things happen in threes. Apparently, somebody online says they happen in sixes. I can't find the other three if there were six. But I don't know. I find it interesting that looking up train derailments led me to a Canadian rail system or rail company that is going to start doing long haul. And they said long, they're talking like possibly mile long trains from Canada to Mexico, hauling all kinds of everything. That they're just starting to predict that the market on these things is going to go through the roof because they don't want to have big trucks on the road. That's part of this. Believe it or not, I'm going through this article, and the first thing I see is that they've right here, there's a quote. We've done some work with the customers to identify the greenhouse gas emission savings, about 60% to 75% versus current mode on those specific moves. And they are talking about trucks. Now remember, Canada just had a trucker strike last year. Canada had a trucker strike, and there's a lot of truckers that probably still don't want to run in Canada. So what are they doing? They're getting the rail system together. In order to make those prices skyrocket, though, they have to bring the trail numbers down, or the train numbers down. What if that's what it is? Now, I'm not saying that's what it is. Again, it could just be accidents that are happening. You know, they have no problem dumping a whole crapload of chemicals all over God's creation in order to make them a profit. They have no problem killing you or your children or your grandchildren in order for them to make a profit. And I'm not just talking about the companies either. I'm talking about politicians. Again, I've said it somewhere before. You wonder why somebody goes in, you know, their net worth is $300,000. They spend 4 years in office and they come out, you know, having more than $20-30 million, you know, net worth. Where do they get that money? If a politician is only making a 6-figure salary, where is the other 20-30 million coming from? These people get in there. We already found out that there are many in Congress that are dealing stocks, making trades based upon political moves. So this would be no different. And they have no problem poisoning the hell out of you. They want you dead. That is a fact. They want you dead and enslaved. This is all part of a game. It's all part of a game to them. What if that's part of it? You create these situations, you drop the price of train moving, you know. And then when this thing kicks into gear and it works perfectly for a year or two, then the stocks go through the roof. What if that's part of it? I don't know. That's speculation. That's all it is speculation. I just find it interesting. It was very interesting that Google handed me this, and I was like, well, this is new. This is within the past 2 weeks, and then you've got 3 train derailments. I don't know, man. Something's going on. I can tell you that much. It is interesting, though. Something you can do for fun, if you want. Just type in the word train and then go to the news section of Google and look how many people get hit by trains. I don't know if this is just something that's happened within the past couple weeks or if this is something that happens all the time. But just within the past, let me see, this is 3 days ago. Person dies after train crash in Blount County. I don't know where Blount County is, but that was 8 hours ago. Man struck, killed by Amtrak train in New Haven 1 day ago. There were more. I need to find them. Because they want to keep talking about the Texas train. They want to talk about the Ohio train. 1 person dead in Blount County. I think it was on the next page, actually. It popped up more on my phone than it did on my computer. And yes, you actually get different results when you are on your phone than you do if you were looking things up on a laptop. It's just the way it is. Marin County coroner names Novato train collision victim. That's 3 different places. Man struck by train in Mystic 20 hours ago. That's 4. Let's see, there's Novato. Train pedestrian accident snarls traffic in Oklahoma City 20 hours ago. So, There's another one. Surrey. It's a pedestrian struck by a train. That was 3 hours ago. Man struck in Mystic. Well, we just heard that one. 2 hospitalized after train collides with a car in Covina. That actually says it was 3 days ago. Person struck in Johnson City. This was 4 days ago. So does this happen all the time? Are people getting hit by trains constantly? Long Beach. There's another one. Somebody got hit by a train in Fort Myers. That blows my mind. That they're still running trains through Fort Myers. Because I used to live in Florida, and we used to go to Fort Myers all the time, and there was only like so many train tracks down there. That was 3 days ago. Sioux Falls, 3 days ago. It's just a woman struck by train in Plant City 3 days ago. What is this? They want you they want you focused on trains for some reason. Dubuque, Iowa? Is that how you say that? Dubuque, Iowa? 4 days ago. They want you focusing on trains. I have no idea why. It's interesting. Everybody wanted to talk about UFOs 4 days ago, and now everybody wants to talk about trains today. Things are speeding up. They're constantly throwing distractions in your face, and I don't understand why yet. I probably never will. It's always something wrapped inside of something else, wrapped inside of something else. So you can never truly pin down what's going on. But I do find it interesting. We've had 3 complete train derailments, train derailments within the past week. 3 days, as a matter of fact. You've had all these people getting hit. Sacramento County, there's another one right there. That was 6 days ago. Does this happen all the time? Possibly. I don't know. I just know whenever I looked up the word train, you looked up news, you start getting all these articles of people getting hit by trains. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's crazy that this East Palestine is still having basketball games. We stick together. First basketball game since derailment, because you have to have a distraction inside of a distraction. Now the question is, of course, what's going on in the background? What else is going on that we're not knowing about? I don't know. There's something happening. It is a pagan festival. It is a pagan festival happening right now. And you've got all this stuff going on. I don't know. I don't know what to say about it. It's very strange. It's very strange. I'm sure that somebody could probably run with it more than I ever could. I just don't know what to say about it. It's definitely messed up. Apparently they had to... What was the one thing that they said that they had to do for the one in Ohio is they had to release chemicals. It's like, it's already bad enough that the train was derailed. Now you're purposely releasing some of the chemicals. 3 additional chemicals discovered. And now they're talking about the Ohio River. They're talking about what was the other river? One of the other rivers that feeds down into the Ohio. They were worried about that one, telling everybody within a mile that they have to evacuate. Maybe something's going on there. I don't know. Ohio's land of the giants. Maybe I don't know. I don't know. It's weird stuff, man. It's weird stuff. What was the other one? There was another one I saw too. About the Ohio people. I can't remember where it was. Something about they had gotten the train disaster because they did it or something. That was weird. I don't know. It was one of those things where it was like, why is this a thing? Let's see if I can hit it again. Yeah, Ohio. After a train derailment, residents are living the plot of a movie they helped make. What does that even mean? Oh, because apparently they filmed a movie there. Oh, I see. It was shot in Ohio. Heh. Because they want to get you to understand that life imitates art, apparently. It's all programming. It's all there's more to it. There's something going on. I don't know what's going on. Anyways, let's read Jeremiah 43. Man, I really don't have much else to say about this. Like I said, I don't really follow the news as much as I used to, and especially with the kids in the house, I really can't. Not to mention that Mondays are usually some of my busier days, so I didn't really hear too much about it. I might try to listen to some stuff today, see if I can find something, but I don't know. There's something going on. There's always something going on with these things. And to have 3 of them back to back to back, I don't know. It's a little weird. If there are 6 of them, then yeah, that's definitely something. Something's happening. Not to mention, like I said, just we went from UFOs to this. What's, I don't know. It's weird stuff. It's like we didn't even. Did we even get to talk about the Super Bowl? I mean, the Super Bowl happened, right? I haven't even heard anybody talk about the Super Bowl, about the halftime show, about, what happened. I haven't heard anything. It's because everybody's been talking about other stuff. I don't know. Strange things are afoot. Strange things are afoot. You need full armor of God more than at any other time. You definitely need to have that full armor of God. You have to be strong in the Word. Stand firm against what's coming. Because, man, I don't know. Alright, let's do this. Jeremiah 43. And it came to pass that when Jeremiah had made an end of speaking unto all the people all the words of the Lord their God, for which the Lord their God had sent him to them, even all these words. Then spake Azariah, the son of Hoshea, and Johanan, the son of Kareah, and all the proud men, saying unto Jeremiah, Thou speakest falsely. The Lord our God hath not sent thee to say, Go not into Egypt to sojourn there. But Baruch the son of Neriah setteth thee on against us, for to deliver us into the hand of the Chaldeans, that they might put us to death, and carry us away captives into Babylon. So Johanan the son of Kareah, and all the captains of the forces, and all the people obeyed not the voice of the Lord, to dwell in the land of Judah. But Johanan the son of Kareah, and all the captains of the forces took all the remnant of Judah that were returned from all nations, whither they had been driven, to dwell in the land of Judah, even men and women and children, and the king's daughters, and every person that Nebuzaradan, the captain of the guard, had left with Gedaliah, the son of Ahikam, the son of Shaphan, and Jeremiah the prophet, and Baruch the son of Neriah. So they came into the land of Egypt, for they obeyed not the voice of the Lord. Thus came they even to Tahpanhes. Thus came they even to Tahpanhes. I'm guessing that's Tahpanhes? Tahpanhes. Oh, man. So yet again, though, let me go there and see if there's a translation for this. Tahpanhes? Tahpanhes. Tahpanhes. It's actually a tectonic. Tectonic. Tahpanhes. Okay, tectonic. Alright. So, yet again, they just refuse to hear anything. And it's probably the same as, it's good old Jeremiah over there speaking his nonsense. We don't have to listen to him because he's not a learned man. He's not a priest. He's not one of our white coat scientists. He has no learning, no understanding. Don't listen to him. He's crazy. He's nuts. Time after time, though, God sent Jeremiah upon these people, and Jeremiah constantly told them, hey, God says this, God says that, God said this, and now they're living in the middle of it, and Jeremiah says, well, now God says don't do this. And of course, they're scared for their lives. So they're saying, no, you sent us, you were sent by the Babylonians to trick us, because you have to remember it was the Babylonians that let Jeremiah loose. They let him go. They told him, go wherever you wish to go, but first go up north with Gedaliah and everybody else, and then you can go wherever you feel like going. So he went up to them, and of course everybody saw that the Babylonians let him go, and the first thing they think is, oh, he's just here to trick us. They sent him here to trick us. No, that was not. That God let him loose so that he could go warn the people, but yet again, they didn't want to listen. Jeremiah was the first conspiracy theorist. The first shadow banned conspiracy theorist. Starting back at the top. And it came to pass that when Jeremiah had made an end of speaking, now this is, he went through the whole thing. He said, God said, do not go down into Egypt. Be taken captive and you will live. But if you go down to Egypt, you will die by the sword, by the famine, by the pestilence, by everything else. Just be taken captive. So when he had made an end of speaking unto all the people, all the words of the Lord their God, for which the Lord their God had sent him to them, even all these words. Then spake Azariah the son of Hoshea, and Johanan the son of Kareah, and all the proud men, saying unto Jeremiah, Thou speakest falsely. The Lord our God hath not sent thee to say, Go not into Egypt to sojourn there. Which is what every single social media fact checker, influencer, talking head newscaster is saying about everything that truthers are talking about right now. You're not telling us the truth. You're not. That's not really what's going on. You're giving us stuff we don't want to hear, so we're not going to listen to you. It's exactly what's going on. They went out of their way. They said, let's put him to death. Let's put him in prison. Let's shut him up. Let's speak against him with tongues, which means let's say bad things about him. Let's go ad hominem on this. We can't refute what he's saying, so let's bring his character down. That's exactly what's happening right now. If there was any book that you wanted to point to see where your problems are, again, it's Isaiah, Jeremiah, and Ezekiel. That's why I was made to read these. That's why they're in the middle of the book. I've talked about this before too. When you open a book, 9 times out of 10, you will open a book almost directly in the middle. God made sure your Bible, the middle books of your Bible, are the 3 biggest books that tell you the things that you should not be doing in this world. And we talked about the worshiping practices. We talked about the rituals that have been handed down for centuries that they're still doing. Yes, you're still bringing a tree into your house and you're still worshiping at it. They're talking about the falling away, about not listening to God, doing all these things. Then it tells you that there are men out there that are doing their damnedest to warn you, to try to save your life. God sent these people to save your life, and you just won't listen to them. That's why they're right dead smack in the middle of the book. You're going to run into either one of the 3. And you're going to find out just how wicked and evil this world is and has been. It's been like this for a very long time. There is nothing new under the sun. So go not into Egypt to sojourn there. Verse 3, but Baruch the son of Neriah setteth thee on against us. Remember, they said that, they let you go. Why would they let you go? So that you could come here and tell us this stuff. For to deliver us into the hand of the Chaldeans, that they might put us to death and carry us away captives into Babylon. So Jehanan the son of Kareah, and all the captains of the forces and all the people obeyed not the voice of the Lord to dwell in the land of Judah. Well, that's yet again, that's not having faith either. That's being more scared of the things of this world than it is to just listen to the Father. Listen to what he tells you to do. But Jehanan the son of Kareah and all the captains took all the remnant of Judah that were returned from all nations, whither they had been driven, to dwell in the land of Judah, even men and women and children, and the king's daughters, and every person that Nebuzaradan, the captain of the guard, had left with Gedaliah, the son of Ahikam, the son of Shaphan, and Jeremiah the prophet, and Baruch the son of Neriah. So they came into the land of Egypt, for they obeyed not the voice of the Lord. Thus came they unto, what was it? Tachpanhes? Punkis? Hopefully I don't have to say that word again, but I already see it 3 more times. At least 2 more times. 2 more times? 2 more times. Verse 8. Then came the word of the Lord unto Jeremiah in Tachpanhes, saying, Take great stones in thine hand, and hide them in the clay in the brick kiln, which is at the entry of Pharaoh's house in Tachpanhes, in the sight of the men of Judah. And say unto them, Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, Behold, I will send and take Nebuchadrezzar, the king of Babylon, my servant, and will set his throne upon these stones that I have hid, and he shall spread his royal pavilion over them. And when he cometh, he shall smite the land of Egypt, and deliver such as are for death to death, and such as are for captivity to captivity, and such as are for the sword to the sword. And I will kindle a fire in the houses of the gods of Egypt, and he shall burn them, and carry them away captives, and he shall array himself with the land of Egypt, as a shepherd putteth on his garment, and he shall go forth from thence in peace. He shall break also the images of Beth Shemesh, that is in the land of Egypt, and the houses of the gods of the Egyptians shall he burn with fire. Alright, let's read through this one again. Verse 8. Then came the word of the Lord unto Jeremiah in Tachpanhes, saying, Take great stones in thine hand, and hide them in the clay in the brick kiln. I keep thinking bricklin, but it's brick kiln. It's just the L and the I look like they're backwards. And hide them in the clay in the brick kiln, which is at the entry of Pharaoh's house in Tachpanhes, in the sight of the men of Judah. Yet again, it may or may not have been that Jeremiah was a priest. He may or may not have read the books. He may or may not have done the studying. Whatever. He was taken as a child and was told by God, take this thing, do this with this thing, in front of learned men, in front of scholars, in front of princes and whoever, and then tell them that's what this is. And of course, nobody would ever believe him. But he was always told, take this, do this, tell them this. He was always given it as a physical representation to show them this is what's going to happen. It makes me think that he didn't have the learning of the books. That, I mean, maybe he did, but that he didn't have the learning of the books, and God said, okay, well then I will take you and I will use you to show them physical representations so that you have a way to explain to them so that they will listen, even though they won't, but you will have a way to explain to them so that they will understand what this is. So that not only they will understand, but you will understand what this is. But we've seen it throughout the book. He's constantly saying, take this here, do this, do that, break this pot. All of it, constantly. So this is the same thing. Take stones, hide them in the brick kiln that is at the entry of Pharaoh's house, in the sight of the men of Judah. Make sure they see it. And say unto them, Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, Behold, I will send and take Nebuchadrezzar, the king of Babylon, my servant. Yes, he was his servant, because he told the king of Babylon. It's something that we didn't see, but we are constantly being told. He is my servant to do the evil that I will do against this people, and will set his throne upon these stones that I have hid, and he shall spread his royal pavilion over them. And when he cometh, he shall smite the land of Egypt, and deliver such as are for death to death, and such as are for captivity to captivity, and such as are for the sword to the sword. So in other words, those stones he is going to hide under the protection of Nebuchadrezzar, the king of the Babylonians. That those stones, which represent his people, will be protected under his canopy, so that they will not fall to all of the suffering that is about ready to happen, because he's sending Nebuchadrezzar down to Egypt now. Nebuchadrezzar came north, took Jerusalem. Now he's probably thinking, hey man, I can do whatever I want. Let's go take Egypt. Why not? Where are we at? 12, verse 12. And I will kindle a fire in the houses of the gods of Egypt, and he shall burn them, and carry them away captives, and he shall array himself with the land of Egypt, as a shepherd putteth on his garment, and he shall go forth from thence in peace. He shall break also the images of Beth-Shemesh, that is in the land of Egypt, and the houses of the gods of the Egyptians shall he burn with fire. So yet again, even though the king of Babylon is not a man of God, he's a servant though. He's going to go down and he's going to kill all the houses of Egypt, all the gods of Egypt. Well, that's a pretty good thing. even though it's coming from a Babylonian, which is a bad thing, but still. He's going down and he's going to kill all these houses of the old gods. And he's trying to tell them, he said, this is the way God will protect you if you will just listen to him. Is that these stones, which are protected as they are inside of this kiln, this is my people will be protected underneath the throne of Nebuchadnezzar. You're not going to listen to me anyways. But if you just go and let yourself be taken captive, you will be fine. It even says that later on in Daniel, where Daniel was able to get away with just about everything he did. Remember, he didn't want to eat the king's meat. So he said, if we come out better for not eating the king's meat than all of these other slaves that you have, then, let us not eat the king's meat. And it turned out to work well that way. There was the one where it said that you had to go and pray, you had to go pray at the foot of a statue or whatever it was. I think you had to pray at a certain time of day, and they didn't want to do it. So they were thrown in the furnace. At least I think I'm getting that right. I think it's what it was. Is they were thrown in the furnace, and they didn't burn. God protected them. Even if you don't listen to the Babylonians, as long as you're taken captive, but you don't listen to the Babylonians, you will be okay. There was the law that said that you will pray to no other gods. But Daniel was caught praying to God himself, to the Most High. And they took him and threw him into the lion's den, and he was just fine. You will be taken captive. But that doesn't mean you have to follow their rules. Keep that in mind. But that is definitely something to keep in mind. Remember, I said pray to God whatever he wants you to do. Whatever he wants you to do in this world. If he wants you to be taken captive, which apparently we already are. I was hearing some interesting things on a video yesterday from Truth Stream Media. I don't know if it was true or not. I have to go look that up. But if we are truly all enslaved right now to this system, for me to say that you don't have to give yourself over to everything they tell you to do, that doesn't go against God or God's word. It doesn't. Some of those people were more than happy once they were taken into captivity to do everything that their masters told them to do. Did God pull them out of it? Probably. Did they change their ways while they're there? Probably. That's the old parable of the prodigal son. You went away from me. You found out how bad it is, and now you want to come back. There are some of those that probably fell. There was a falling away. They became so indoctrinated into the Babylonian system that whenever God decided that Babylonian system was done away with, that they didn't get to come back. It was a test upon a test. God said, I want you to come back, so I'm going to take everything away from you possible, and you're going to want to come back to me. And I promise you, I will give you everything back, plus some. I will make you build great fields full of cattle, full of all kinds of food, everything you could ever want, from deserts, from barren wastelands, from nothing. It said that in Isaiah. People would go past these places and they will think, oh, for shame. Oh, it's so bad what these people did to have God do that to them. And then God said, I will bring you back into those places where they used to say those things. And I will let you make it twice as good as it was before. And it will be amazing. And people will look at that and they will proclaim, wow, what a great God that is. You have to trust what the Father says. If the Father's telling you right now that you need to fight back, then you need to fight back. If the Father's telling you right now that you need to become the ultimate prayer warrior, and that you need to speak up, tell the truth in all things, fight back against the evil system, you need to be doing that. I don't see that. I see a lot of people that want to post a lot of memes, but I don't see a lot of people that are out there trying to spread the truth. I don't see a lot of people out there that are really trying to get the 100% truth. I see a lot of distractions is what I see. All these truthers that I follow, all these religious truthers that I follow, these Christian truthers that I follow, all they want to do is just hop on the current bandwagon. They want to get distracted just like everybody else does. And while I think it's okay to point that stuff out, some of them get so entrenched in that distraction that they will absolutely forget what they were talking about before. Which is just to try to save people. Try to save souls. Try to get people to look at this world from a biblical perspective so that people can wake up out of it. That's what we're trying to do. What we should be doing. But of course, so many of them, they just want to keep, like I said, they just want to keep repeating the same old stuff. There's so many of them that are going out of their way to talk about how many people they have following them. Have truther friends, former truther friends, that they wanted to proclaim that they wanted to speak the truth about everything. Yet all they ever did was just post pictures of their grandchildren. That always bugged me. That absolutely always bugged me. I get it. I get it that your Facebook account started as a way for you to proclaim how beautiful, amazing your family was. Maybe that's how it started, but somewhere along the line, you became part of this truth movement. And you don't want that truth movement to seep into your family life when you damn well know that your family should be the number one people that you're trying to save. But you don't want that with your, 600, 700 people that follow you. You don't want to lose those friends, so you don't want to proclaim the truth. Therefore, you're still stuck in this world. It's a sad state of affairs. Even Christ said, no now, if they don't like you, they didn't like me before. He did not come here to bring people together, or Christ did not come here to bring people together. That people would become separated from each other because of what he was saying, because he was speaking the truth. In a world of lies, the truth becomes harmful, and nobody wants to hear it. He even said it himself, and I say it over and over again. People will be speaking soft words that will tickle the ears. And it will do nobody any good whatsoever. That nobody will speak the truth. And I see those memes all the time of probably the same people. Same people that, the one that they talk about Christianity, in the times of Christ, or, believers in the time of Christ that, they were like a raging lion, absolutely barreling over everything, taking every risk possible. And you have believers now that are like a kitten. They just want to be soft and cuddled. They don't want to speak out. They don't want to speak the truth. They don't want to take that risk. That's so sad. Anyways, that's that. I don't have much anything else. I don't have much anything else. I really don't. It's been, man, it's been such a, God, it's been a week. We're kind of in a position right now at the house that I don't like. And I am agitated. Had to pray for patience today. Had to pray for patience. Because there are just situations happening at the house that I can't control. And it's a little frustrating. And there's a time for frustration. There's a time for these things. At the same time, I get frustrated at, the real world, the outside world, because again, nobody wants to. I just see everybody, same old distractions, same old stuff, same old people saying the same old stuff. Still see the same old people saying, just sit on your hands and wait, do nothing, sit around, do nothing, just wait. And again, I get that mentality. Your Bible says that everything will be okay. Your Bible says everything will be just fine. In the meantime, though, what are you doing to help change others? Are you trying? Have you really brought the two witnesses in so that you could make sure that you dust the sand off your feet with a clear conscience? We have to be strong. We have to stand up to evil where it is. Speak the truth in all things. Do not let this world manipulate us into lies. Understand the truth and know where we are. That's the number one thing we need to do more than anything else. The first thing, quite simply, just tell them the truth. Hell, man, you want to know something you could do? Go out right now. Tell people how much of a farce Valentine's Day is. Go tell them what Lupercalia is. It's first page Google. Don't just go for the first 3 or 4 things either. Really dig down in there. Really go down through the, however many search items they give you. You don't have to go through 460 million because there aren't 460 million. I bet you there's probably only about 200 something. Go through them. I'll even look it up for you. I'll look it up for you. Lupercalia. This says there's 1.26 million results. No, there's not. There are... Oh, it's going to be one of these. There are so little results that they won't even put them on pages. Yeah, they won't even put them on pages. Google did this thing. I don't know if I've brought this up or not. Sometimes Google will have pages. Excuse me. Sometimes Google will have the pages to where it'll say, page 1, and it'll have like 30 listings. Page 2, it'll have 30 listings. And you used to be able to go to the last page, and the last page would tell you that out of 462 something results, that's how many they had. But at the first page, it says, about 30 something million results. So that became pretty big. A lot of people were talking about that a couple months ago, because that was really starting to catch on. Is that, look how fake this is, because it's fake. That's what it is. If Google's telling you there's so many millions of results, and yet on the very last page, that number at the top goes down to 400 and something. Well, that means that there were only 400 and something to begin with. That first number is a lie. So they changed it though. And it keeps popping in and out, because sometimes I'll see the pages and sometimes I won't see the pages. But right now there's no pages. It's an endless scroll is what it is. So you don't get to read every single listing. So, of course, right now, I can't tell you how many actual listings for Lupercalia there are, but I can tell you right now, there's definitely not 1.26 million. That's a lie. They are... I don't even want to say they're hiding the internet anymore, because web browsers, web companies came in, bought up all those websites. Because you got to remember, a lot of the internet used to be free back in the day. Back in the early 2000s, you used to be able to host a website anywhere, pretty much. Some of them you had to pay maybe $5, $5 a month, sometimes even $20 a year. They were super, super cheap, and everybody had a website. And I'm not just talking about like MySpace. I'm talking about websites. Everybody. And you used to be able to get on, like, what was the one with the spider? Webscape? Was that what it was? I can't remember what it was. But you used to be able to get on those, and you used to find so many different ones. Even Google, when they first started doing it, you used to be able to get so many different search items from different people and places. People that would have the random browser, the random web pages that just used to have just stuff on them, blogs. I mean, what happened to all the blogs? Where's all the poetry pages? Where's all the random image pages? There used to be so much internet out there, and now it's just all gone. So where's all that stuff at? Well, a lot of that, again, these companies came in and bought up all those little web browser hosting sites. And a lot of those old pages that used to be free, they suddenly started getting charged $20 a month. I had one that was $5 a month that I let it slip and it got bought out. And then I came back to it and they said, well, if you want to get it back, it's got to be like, I think it was $25 a month. I said, what is this? It's insane. Where's all that stuff at? Where's the voices? I mean, have we really gotten down to the point to where we just don't care anymore? It's just crazy. I know that there's so many regulations and standards now, but holy crap, where's the internet? Anyways, though, Lupercalia, front page. Front page. You can look it up. Front page, man. Just scroll down the list. I don't know how many actual items there are, but it's front page. All you have to do is somebody brings up the term Valentine's Day, you say no, it's Lupercalia. You say it's a pagan festival. You're practicing pagan rituals. A lot of people won't want to hear it, and you know what? Hey, whatever. Who cares? Tell them the truth. They need to know the truth. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to say it. A lot of those people probably, unfortunately, are not going with you. You have to remember that, too. There's a broad way and a narrow path. A lot of those people just probably are not going with us. I might not be going either. I don't know. Keep it in mind. I love you guys. Take care of yourselves. Always speak the truth. We don't need any more lies in this world. We have too many lies. And all they're doing is just killing us more and more. This world is fallen. This world is absolutely fallen. Father, please come quick. Please come quickly. All right. I shall talk to everyone later. Take care of yourselves. God bless.